When the weather outside is frightful, the Hyundai Santa Fe is, delightful. Because it's got available H-Track all-wheel drive to make being out together better. Enter for your chance to win the newly redesigned Santa Fe, packed with all the jingle bells and whistles you need to go dashing through the snow together. To enter, visit Amazon.com/Hyundai or scan the QR code on specially marked red and green Amazon boxes. No purchase necessary. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
You are listening to New Theory Radio.
Welcome to New Theory Radio, the show where we theorize on arts and pop culture. My name is Nav Nanwa, and I'm your host, and this is the first episode of a new bonus series that we're creating called Theories, Tips, and Tricks, useful information for today's creatives. And this is a sporadic series exclusive to the NTR podcast feed, where every few weeks we'll be joined by professionals from various fields to share theories, tips, and tricks on how you can take your creative passions to the next level. This week, we are discussing websites, and I'm pleased to welcome Young Lee, who is the Director of Marketing for GoDaddy Canada and an avid side hustler. Young, how's it going?
Hi, nice to meet you and virtually and be here. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. And GoDaddy's websites plus marketing platform for Canadian entrepreneurs and small businesses is ideal for anyone trying to grow their business online. The platform's tools include SEO, insights, and more, all of which will give you the know-how on how to get your website online and market it to the right audience. Young, I'm just going to ask you right from the get-go, tell me more about GoDaddy's website plus marketing, and is it more than just a website building platform?
Yeah, no, great question, and thanks for summarizing that. I guess my job is done now. I could so well. But before I go deeper into the product, GoDaddy Websites is Marketing, I'll start by telling you a little bit more about GoDaddy in general and who we are, what we do. I mean, predominantly, I think a lot of people when they hear about GoDaddy, the first thing they hear is, oh yeah, it's those domains guys, they do domains, and that's where I have my domain, which is amazing. We've got, over 1 million customers this year, which is a major milestone that we've hit for people who trust us to be their service provider. But we're not just a domains company, right? We're so much more. And so we're kind of like that one-stop shop, but that small business owners kind of turn to. But it very simply, like if I were to tell you what GoDaddy does, I would say it very simply in this one statement, that we're all about really just empowering the everyday entrepreneur and like small business owners, the tools, the right tools, and the help they need to create and grow their online presence. So you can think of us as that one-stop shop where, kind of customers turn to, whether it's for, starting with domains, like I was talking about, or creating a website and hosting your website. And then as you grow, you need security and productivity tools. We kind of have all of these products. So we're like that end-to-end resource. So that's kind of what we're about. And, that's kind of our mission at the end of the day, of just empowering small businesses to have the right tools to kind of grow online. So in terms of like websites as marketing, GoDaddy Websites as Marketing, yes, you're right. It's a platform. It's a platform of tools. And it's a suite of digital tools where any user can easily create a website. And the plus marketing aspect of that product name is where all that added value kind of comes in. And when I say it's really easy, I tell you, my mom, who is not technology adverse, she kind of helped me on something. She was just tinkering, and she could actually use the tool and build a website. And trust me, she has problems using a mouse. So you can imagine, it is that user friendly. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so if you think of it as a platform or a suite of tools that, can help you easily create a website, and I'll give you some examples what it does. Like you can choose from over 100 customizable templates. Like you don't have to be a coder or a web developer. It's all kind of there for you. And then you can tweak it as you will. It has got all these built-in tools, so you don't have to know things like, what's SEO? Like, how do I do it? That's all built in for you. Super easy to manage. You can manage all your content in one place if you're on the go, especially on mobile, and you need to update something if you have an online store with us. And then there's so many other great built-in tools like marketing, email marketing, and social media dashboard. So if you think of GoDaddy websites for marketing, it's this all-in-one platform that allows you to do all these things and more.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Why is right now the most crucial time to have an online presence?
Well, it's probably a no-brainer that a lot of small businesses right now, I empathize with. They're really struggling, especially in these challenging times. I think the biggest thing that a big learning experience from all of this is that with uncertainty with lockdown measures, especially in Ontario, with us being fully locked down in March and then being lifted and then back in currently where we are today, any business right now that does not have an online presence, unfortunately, have suffered and will suffer. I couldn't help but think about the other day, when I was walking down my street with all these businesses closed that are all retail fronts, and reminding me of my immigrant parents, right, who kind of to Canada and they had a gift shop, and so none of this was available, these online tools and the strong website presence that's available today and all these technologies. It wasn't available, and I was thinking, like, what would they do had they been in this position like many small businesses are today, right? Like a lot of mom and pop shops, they certainly don't have a website. It's pretty crucial, and I think it doesn't matter what small business type you are, whether you're a restaurant, walk-in retailer, service provider, that online presence is so critical right now. And even if we think of not just income, like other sources of income or channel coming through online, it's about the basics, right? Of just communicating with your customers. How would they reach you? How would they know if you're open? Do you do like curbside pickup? Like, what are your now? There's so much uncertainty, and certainly a website allows you to connect with your community and your customers, and more importantly, give you the ability to sell products and your services, right, without being opened physically. So our hopes is that that now people are reacting to this and hopefully getting the resources they need so they can get online. And certainly, GoDaddy has been doing a lot of efforts on our side to help with that and the small business community.
Yeah, exactly. It's a trying time. So I think now more so than ever, the move to online definitely makes sense. And, it kind of leads me to my next question. And we talked about it right at the beginning. There's so many features associated with this platform. Are there any key ones that stand out, especially you being an avid side hustler? Are there features of this platform that really get you excited?
Yeah, I mean, for my entrepreneurial projects that I have done kind of outside of my 9-to-5 job, one of the first things I remember getting really stuck on was, okay, like, do I have to hire a web person to build me a cool and beautiful looking site? That was like my first, that's where my brain went first, is, oh God, I'm gonna have to pay for someone probably a lot of money to make my site look as professional as I want it on my products that I was building. And what's great about GoDaddy Websites Marketing is that these customizable templates that have been industry created in mind, like if you are a restaurant, we've got a set of templates for restaurants. If you are in the beauty business, a set of specific templates for beauty. They're all kind of there, built for you, and you just grab and you go, and then you can just customize how you want to tweak it to make it your own. And as you think about your own brand that you're building for your business, so that part's super exciting. The other part that I found that was super neat was the ability to manage everything in one place. Mm-hmm. And with a business website, that's just one avenue, right? You've also most likely, a small business person has like an Instagram, social media account, right? Or they have a Facebook page that they're also, putting out there. It's very multi-channeled in today's, customer reaches in terms of marketing and how people sell and promote their products and services. But what was annoying about that is like, if you update one thing on your website, for example, then you've got to have to go across all your other channels and update all your content. So what's really cool about Websites + Marketing is that you can manage everything in one place. So they have, dashboards on your social media. So if you want to create a content post, you could do it in the same place. You don't have to leave or go into your Instagram account, for example, and manage your content there. So that's really cool and super convenient, especially if you're mobile and you want to just update everything at one time. And then the other thing that I do want to mention is what's unique about this product is that GoDaddy's got like so much data because of our strong customer base. And so we have this unique proprietary, aspect of our product that allows you to see a score that is very unique to your industry. So for example, if I was a restaurant, the product will tell me how I'm scoring in relation to everyone else that's in my industry and how I'm performing online. So if it's like 65% score, it'll say, okay, Young, you've got these recommended action plans to kind of get you to, maybe like 85% or 90%. And it spells it out so simply what I have to do. And so that's what makes it really cool, that when I don't have to really think, it's kind of like having this, hand-holding experience of someone who's just telling you what to do along the way as you kind of build and grow your online presence. And those are the real cool features that I love about GoDaddy Websites + Marketing.
Yeah, you touched on it earlier that the idea of creating a website for a lot of people who are not or who don't consider themselves web savvy can be a daunting task. But it sounds like GoDaddy and the Websites + Marketing platform has been able to make that easier. How easy is it truly? And what advice would you give to someone who's never built a website, who's maybe trying to find a way to get started and is considering using a platform like yours?
Yeah, it's really easy. I mean, one great thing about our product is that we allow people to try it for free. And I think that's important to know. There's nothing worse than, signing up for a product and, you kind of invested in it and now you kind of have to figure it all out. So we have a free website that you can actually publish and go live right away, and allows you to trial the experiences. So you can see for yourself how easy it is and if it's right for you. So far, a lot of our customers who do try I guess we call it the freemium product, create the site and do it themselves, they actually end up converting into a full paying product to get all maybe the other features that they need for their business. But we have a tool in there called Website Builder, and so it is like this very intuitive interface where, you're allowed to pick your theme, change your colors, update your content, play around with your online store, how you want it to look like. Super easy to use. And so I think that's probably the number one thing of feedback the customer has given us, that our product is so easy to use that it's a very seamless experience. And what's great about that too is because easy is kind of like our motto, we also have an award-winning kind of customer support aspect to our business, which is you can contact a GoDaddy guide. They're available 24/7. It's free and it's friendly. If you ever get stuck and you want to talk to someone about what you're trying to do or figure out, you can always access that as a resource for support to help you. But that also is very helpful for customers who trial our products and decide it's right for them.
I always love the word freemium.
I know, it's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great way to explain the value that you're getting and the fact that it's at no cost. And I think that's a great way to describe it. Young, you yourself, like I mentioned earlier, you're an avid side hustler. You have a very strong entrepreneurial background. I'm sure you still are working on some entrepreneurial things as you continue as the director of marketing for GoDaddy, which is great. What is it about this community, the entrepreneurial side hustler community, that really inspires GoDaddy's efforts?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, when I joined GoDaddy, when did I join? It's been almost 2 years since I've joined this company. And I think the biggest thing that really inspired me, knowing that this culture and this company as a brand was right for me, was that GoDaddy really spoke to my personal values when I was running my own small business, right? Running that small business venture and having that real journey that I personally can relate to. And so I recognize that passion that they saw me. I think our brand sees the community and we understand and we celebrate that journey. So that's why we're dedicated to supporting the everyday entrepreneur. And so our mission and everything that we do in terms of our marketing and our storytelling that we put out there, we always try to strive for that we're empowering this community and that we're championing them. A great example is we launched a big campaign this October, partnering Under DeGrasse, who's our Canadian Olympic hopeful for the gold this year. That's what we want, but he was fantastic. And the reason why we partnered with him for our current campaign was to help us kind of spotlight the heroes of the actual small business community, which are real small business customers. In fact, GoDaddy customers are in our campaign. If you've seen the commercial, you'll meet Anthony Stanbury. He's a comic book illustrator. Carly, who is a personal trainer. Real customers who are running their own business. And also GoDaddy customers who've had a lot of success online. And so that's a great example of us as a brand highlighting them because their passion and the values that they stand for really closely align to the values that we believe in and we want to drive. And so it's really that aspiration where it gets built back into our brand and vice versa that we continue to grow and nurture and that we're really proud of.
Awesome. One last question, Young, and then we'll let you continue with your passions and your day-to-day as the director of marketing for GoDaddy. What advice would you have for an aspiring entrepreneur that's probably using this time to really figure things out?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's funny. I've been thinking about just advice in general because I had someone ask me that very question. He said, Young, like what do you advise? I want this idea started off the ground. Like, how do I figure things out? So, I can only take my experience what I've learned that I'd love to share is that, sometimes like when we have these ideas, like the hardest part to getting these ideas off the ground is just really just going for it, right? Mm-hmm. We can sit on it. We might stew on it for years that, this is something is a project that you really want to do. But the hardest part I always found was actually executing it, right? And so I always say to people, first start thinking like the bigger picture. What is it? What goal is it? What does this look like, long-term for you? Like, what is it that you want your vision to achieve? And then, based on that journey, then start breaking it down to mini goals, right? Mini journeys for you to kind of get to that bigger goal. And that makes it more realistic. And that also makes it more executable. To my earlier point of just getting it started, another piece of advice someone gave to me, which I will always be grateful for, was a good friend of mine who's a successful a business entrepreneur named Frank. And he said, Young, like, don't even focus on the business plan. A lot of people always start with the business plan, and there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's great. Like, if you can build a business plan, you can think of all the nuances that force you to think, give you that critical thinking opportunity. That's amazing. But the problem with building a business plan and being so dedicated to it is that you can get caught up in it in its own whirlwind. And again, you'll go back to that problem where you'll never execute. Mm-hmm. So some people, they just, like myself, when I started my ventures, it was a skincare line, an organic skincare line that I did. Two of them actually, is that I didn't go that route. I first started just executing right off the bat, and I decided that I would learn as I go. It doesn't work for everybody, but I had started a business plan, but he was right. I never finished it. It was just ongoing thing. Just sit there and be like, oh my God, I got to finish my business plan, or I don't know if the strategy is fully baked. And so that was great advice. And so I just went for it. And the first thing you want to do is, kind of secure your real estate, right? Which is the online pieces, like, get your domain. Like, there's nothing worse than registering for your domain and then someone's taken it. It's like the biggest blow.
It is. Your domain is.
It's everything, right?
In some ways, it's like your SIN number, right? Like, you need to secure that domain.
100%. So I say to friends and family and people who I know who are looking to start their idea after brand, I say, go for it. Go register your idea now. You don't have to commit to it, but at least if you got it, you have that option. And so what I did personally was I just created a website. And I think once you kind of go that direction, you're kind of moving backwards. You're forced to then build the content. Like, what is it that I want to say? Like, what is it about my business? Like, what's my purpose? What's my mission? What's my narrative that I'm trying to build for this business? It all kind of comes naturally. And that's a preference that I have personally. Not everyone likes to work like that. I know some people who've just done the business plan and they go straight to it and methodologies, but I say there's no wrong or right way. I think it's just more of like, what kind of person are you and what will kind of get you going? And the last piece of advice I would say too is talk to as many small business owners and people who've done it as much as possible. Ask the right questions, like ask about their experiences, what they've learned, 80% of the time, they'll probably tell you about all their failure stories, which is entrepreneurial journey, right? Like, not everyone gets it right. In fact, sometimes people do it 3, 5, 6, 7 times before they get it right, and that's okay. And that's part of the passion that fuels people who want to be running their own business in the first place. So that's my advice. I think that's a good way to get started, and try to figure things out as you go.
That's awesome, Young. And again, we do appreciate you being able to share that, as well as sharing more information on GoDaddy's website plus marketing platform. And if anybody listening to this wants to check it out, what's the best way?
The best way is just go to GoDaddy.ca and you'll learn everything about websites as marketing and everything else that I had mentioned, from domains to other tools and products. But it's all there for you. And I encourage everyone to create a free site. This freemium product, that's why it's there, for you to explore and trial it and see for yourself how easy it is to build it. So that's my last advice, to create a free site for yourself.
Freemium. Everyone remember that. Freemium is the key word here. And exactly. Young, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for hopping on our very first theories, tips, and tricks episode here on New Theory Radio. We do appreciate it. And yes, go check out GoDaddy's website and marketing platform for yourself, especially if you are a creative looking to start a business during this tough time, because it can definitely be useful to you. Thank you so much for tuning in to this special episode. If you want to connect with us, it is at New Theory Radio on all social platforms, and you will hear all of us next time. Peace.
When the weather outside is frightful, the Hyundai Santa Fe is, delightful. Because it's got available H-Track all-wheel drive to make being out together better. Enter for your chance to win the newly redesigned Santa Fe, packed with all the jingle bells and whistles you need to go dashing through the snow together. To enter, visit Amazon.com/Hyundai or scan the QR code on specially marked red and green Amazon boxes. No purchase necessary. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details. When the weather outside is frightful, the Hyundai Santa Fe is, delightful. Because it's got available H-Track all-wheel drive to make being out together better. Enter for your chance to win the newly redesigned Santa Fe, packed with all the jingle bells and whistles you need to go dashing through the snow together. To enter, visit Amazon.com/Hyundai or scan the QR code on specially marked red and green Amazon boxes. No purchase necessary. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.